Hello everyone, I'm Jesus and welcome to the next episode of the Road to Old School MTG. I have an epic game for you here. So this is game 3 of 4 of the January 2024 Atlantic Tournament held at Dave's Time Warp in Cedar Grove, New Jersey. This was an Atlantic tournament, Gentleman's Atlantic, so no Mind Twist, no Library of Alexandria allowed. I'm playing a Bantamgeddon decks, which is just Ernemgeddon, but with blue for dibs and blue power. My opponent is playing the deck. So I'm going to start things off right away because this was definitely going to be a long one. Right, so starting off, game 1. I'm going to be pausing here because my opponent's going to show his hand real quick. So right here, so he's playing the deck. He kept a one-line hand. But he has, the land is a plains, he has 2 swords, a balance, and he does have mana rock. So he has a soul ring and a flower stone. So yeah, I can see why he kept it. He has and 1 counter spell as well. I play white and blue, his color, so that flower stone is definitely going to be able to give him that mana that he was lacking from just having a one-land hand. But still kind of risky. All right, so let's continue on with the video. So neither one of us took a mulligan. So here I show my hand, but I did a horrible job. And I think you could only see a plains or something. So I got to practice that. All right, my opponent goes first. Land, soul ring, flower stone. So that's a pretty strong turn 1. I go, I draw. It's a plains, a mox, and I disenchant the soul ring. So I don't know this, but he's low on mana, so that was excellent. But he top decked a land. But still good, because he's still low on mana. He has to be top decking those lands, or else he's going to it's going to be tricky for him. So I play a factory on my second turn. So I have 3 mana, but I don't have a blue though. Ooh, I follow that up with a disenchant on his flower stone. So I'm not sure if I know by this point if he's playing the deck or not. Well, I mean, most likely not. Right? I hadn't spoken to my opponent regarding what he was playing. But like it gives out. You can definitely it gives out the deck vibes just from what you see right now. Right, he's not casting any creatures. Just playing artifacts. Draw go. Okay, so I play another factory. So I only have. So I'm also I'm low on colored mana. So I attack. Since I can't cast anything, I attack and I pump with my other factory, but he swords before the pump. So now I lost the factory, but I have a mox. But all this is off colored. These 2 moxes are the 2 moxes that I only use for ramp. I do not have any red or black spells. Right, so my opponent just draws and goes because he's not drawing any lands at the moment. But we know he has another swords and he has a balance, so he can definitely do a lot of damage with just those cards. So outside of frame is the plains. All right, so I'm just attacking because I can't cast anything, and then he swords. Of course, I don't know that, but that he has another swords, but he swords it my other one. So I'm down to 1 land and 2 moxes. I pass, he draws, passes, and then I get a 3rd factory. So, but still no color mana, so I can't really cast. My opponent goes, he draws. Now my turn, so we're past go right now. And then he disenchants. So he has killed 3 of my factories. And he didn't have that disenchant, so that was one of the ones he drew. Okay, he draws goes, so like at least the deck wants to play a lot of lands, play a lot of mana rocks and then hopefully get a tome to start drawing. All right, so it has a flower stone. Okay, but now I gave him blue because I played an island, but I have to play lands because I have a plains and an island. I have no green, so all right. So now he's starting to build up his mana. So now we're tied. So 2 lands, 2 mana rocks. So I get that Tundra, 5 mana for a Sir Angel, but he mana drains it. So he's gonna get 5 colorless mana next turn, which is good for him because he was mana screwed. All right, so my opponent goes. He's using 4 for a book. Oof. And then he still has 1 more floating. We're still at 20 life, both of us. So he's using 3 mana. Okay, he's taking it back. So he's probably tempted to draw and use that mana, but then it will leave him with not enough mana to counter. So he just takes the damage. But he still used 4 out of 5 mana for that tome. All right, so I play a Soul Ring. 2 mana. 4, 5. I Geyser for 3, I believe. But he counterspells. If he had taken the bait and drawn with the book, he wouldn't have had that mana for me to counter my Brain Geyser. All right, so he just draws and goes. That's usually what the deck does until they get a factory out. All right, so I play a land. I'm not sure what land it is. I think that's a Savannah. We'll see. If I start casting green things, then that's what it is. But right now I have no green. At least I didn't before. Regrowth. Okay, so that is a Savannah, so I'm getting green. The Sarah, and then I cast the Sarah again. And then he lets all that happen. He draws end of turn. So now the deck is starting to build up his hand. So they basically they get more resources, which allows them to do more things, draw cards, while still having mana open for counter spells, for reactions. So he's setting himself up nicely. He's only taken 1 damage this whole time so far. So he has plenty of time to just take a few hits from the Sarah and not be in much danger. I don't play direct damage, side blast, so I just deal my damage to my creatures. My turn, I drew, I attacked, so Sarah doesn't tap, so he just takes the 4 damage. He's at 15. I play a Pixies. So remember, he still has that balance. So we'll see if he ends up using it. Okay, so he's drawing end of turn. Still has the 2 mana for a counterspell, if he so chooses. All right, so his turn, plays a Mox. So he's building up his resources. Okay, this may be it. Oh, he's disenchanting. I thought he was doing the balance. So he's disenchanting the Soul Ring, but I think he's setting up the balance. Yep. Yep, there it is. Because I have more lands than him, so I have to sacrifice, I think, 1 land. And then now with the Soul Ring gone, also, I'm just, definitely low on mana now. I discarded the plains because I can get extra 2 white from between the Savannah and the Tundra. All right, so I got a Suchi, but he counterspells. And that's probably it. Yep, pass. All right, so five mana. Ooh, he casts his own Sarah. I swords it. Gains 4 life. He's back to 19. My turn. But this is a good spot where the deck wants to be. Having 4 mana open to tome end of turn while still having some mana open to counterspell or to swords or to disenchant end of turn as well. All right, my turn. I just play a Pixies. He lets it through. It's at 19, so he can definitely take a few hits without carrying much. My opponent's turn. All right, he passes. My turn. I attack for 2. He takes it. 17. I have 5 mana for a Sarah. Okay, he's going to draw from the book first. And then I think it stays. Nope, he swords to Sarah. So I gain 4 life, but I think my life is not important at the moment. Attack for 2. He's at 15. I'm at 28 life between the swords that he's been playing. End of turn, he draws, goes. So now the deck is starting to do its thing. In the beginning, he wants to go 1 for 1 for answering cards one by one. But then you play something like a balance, or usually they also have mind twists, right? So something that gives them card advantage. And then with the tome, that's the key, where they can consistently start to grow card advantage while still having mana open. So then that means they will always have an answer to whatever you play, because you're just playing 1 card at a time while they're drawing 2 cards at a time, maybe even 3. Okay, so I attack, he takes it. And then here I'm playing, taking a gamble here. I'm playing an Armageddon. He drew a lot, so it would be shocking if he doesn't have a counterspell. Although I think he's played a counterspell and a mana drain by this point. Maybe even more than that. Yeah, I think he's played quite a few counterspells actually. So he's drawing. He's disenchanting a Mox. So he's doing a lot of stuff before the lands die. All right, so this is very good for me. He was able to get me really low though. Okay, oof. He has a Lotus. 3 mana. He's using blue. So I tell him that he cannot use the Flower Stone because I have no lands. So that's 6 mana. Oof, that's a great response. He's Brain Geyser. He's using a Brain Geyser on himself for 4. Then he can get the land, gets a Mox. He time walks to give him a tempo advantage. So now he goes into his time walk turn. So he has 5 mana rocks. Ugh. So now he's way ahead. So now basically the Armageddon seems like it's actually benefiting him. And then he casts a Chaos Orb. Okay, so he passes, but he can Chaos Orb my Pixies. I believe he can Chaos Orb my Pixie, yeah. Pixies about damage. But he misses. So he takes it, he's at 11. All right, so I'm getting lucky here. But I pass. Okay, I think my opponent thought he had enough mana, but the Flower Stone still doesn't make mana, so he's putting it upside down so that he remembers that he can't use it yet until I drop a colored mana producer, land. He plays a factory, so that's a big issue. Now I can't attack anymore. I have to keep it. Well, I guess I could still attack. Oof. Recall for 2. So look at that gigantic pile of cards he has in his graveyard. So a lot of things that he can get.
No, I made those. I was messing around with making proxies, and then I found some really nice. I figured out how to translate the Chinese traditional. I'll bring back Time Walk.
Okay, Brain Geyser and Time Walk. So he's gonna Time Walk now, probably.
Oh, I discard.
Okay, those are 2 cards he discards. He had the mana for a Time Walk. Oh, I think he's noticing that now. Yep. All right, so he's casting the Time Walk, so that way he can Brain Geyser himself for 3, 6, or 6. 3. If he goes all out, he can Geyser himself for 6.
For 6?
Yep, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so he's got a full hand right now. So this is big trouble for me. He has 1, 2, 4, 6 mana rocks. He's got 3 lands. He's got 7 cards in his hand. My only saving grace is that the pixies cannot be blocked by the factory. Ooh, I go to Time Walk. I master top deck that. So I attack. And now 2, so he's at 7, so he's low. If I got lucky and he didn't get a swords, I could still win this. All right, so I play a land, or 2 lands right now because of the Time Walk. So now the Flower Stone does produce mana. Okay, now he gets a second factory. So he can attack and hit me, but he's way lower than me, so I'll win that race. He has to get a something to deal with the pixies. Four mana, and he's using the factory, so he's not gonna attack. Okay, 5 mana for a Sarah. All right, so I must have been holding that because that's the first creature he's played. Okay, he's gonna counter that. Okay, yep. So I swords the Sarah, but he countered. And then I swords it during my turn. And this time, it hit. So he's at 2. 9 because then I attack for 2 anyway. Yeah, ooh. He gets so excited, like, knocked over my die. Yeah, they were all at 6, I think, except for the last one. But I gained 2 life out of that, so that one's at 6 as well now. But he finally dealt with the pixies. He's at 9. But I think it's still his turn. Oof. He ancestrals himself. So his hand is consistently full. So this is definitely an uphill battle by this point. I had him lower at 7. He's at 9 now. And I have no threats at the moment. And he has a full hand. And he can draw with the tome. So it's not looking good for me. So I play a tropical island. I have 4 mana for an Urnum. My opponent's going to draw end of turn, see if he gets a counterspell or something. So the only good thing is look at his library. So I think he's either used up all his counterspells, or maybe he has like one more in the deck, right? So I made him used up most of the answers that he has in his library. So he may have to just be on the defense and block with his factories. But then that just opens up my future creatures. All right, so he has a demonic tutor, and he's gonna use it on a regrowth. Okay, and then he can get whatever he wants. Time walk. Ooh, interesting. So he casts a time walk, and then he casts a time twister. So, so graveyard and your hand get shuffled back into your library. Cards that were removed from game that doesn't happen to those cards. And then you draw a new hand of 7. So my opponent I think he had like around 10 cards in his library. So most of his cards basically is either in play or they were in the graveyard. So now he gets to shuffle it all back again, draw 7. He's at 9, and then he probably had no answer to the Urnum in his hand. So he's taking a bit of a gamble. But if you draw 7 cards, and basically the main thing is that he wanted to reshuffle his counter spells and his swords back, because he wasn't going to draw into one of those, and then boom, he got out swords in that pile of 7 cards, and then now he's disenchanting my Mox. And remember, he had cast a time walk from before. That time walk also went back to his library, so he goes again. Okay, so I have no defense. I think, yeah, he's getting ready to attack now. Okay. And he pumps. So he played a factory, so he couldn't attack with the third one. But he attacks for 5. And then he's likely going to draw end of turn. So I'm really, really screwed right now. I was definitely considering scooping, probably even a few minutes before this point, actually. But I tend to not do that, only because for several reasons. Number one, I can get more info on his deck if I keep on playing. And I have won games where it was against the odds, right? So it can happen. It is definitely unlikely to happen in this game at the moment, but I have won games that I shouldn't have won. So that's the main reason I stick around. So honestly, look what's happening here. So I was pretty bad, and then I'm able to play a few mana rocks. I have a factory. I have a lion. I ancestral, he counterspell, but now I have a time walk. Okay, so he's gonna draw to see if he gets a counterspell or something. Good, he's at 9, and he's tapped out. Okay, so he's not countering it, but he's sourcing my lion. So now I was gonna attack for 4, bring him down to 5. So I can only attack for 2 now with the factories. Bring him down to 7, but then he's gonna have his factories open next turn. So I have another factory. Ooh, I could have attacked for 5 damage if he hadn't gotten that swords. So pumping 3, so he's at 6. Okay, ooh. Okay, that's pretty strong. So he's tapped out. So I followed that up with a Suchi and a line. So yeah, you see, that's why I don't quit.
Play an island.
All right, so what's he doing? Okay, he's probably casting a Sarah or something. Okay, he's doing a lot of math, so I'm not sure what he's doing here.
It's weird, but it matters.
Rain Geyser, ooh. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's doing it for 4, I think. But yeah, seems like he's doing it for 4. All right, so he wants to keep blue open, so he's all right. So yeah, he's casting a Sarah. Yep, and he still has blue open enough for a counter spell. All right, so he says 6. He has a factory out. So if I attack with the factory, he may be forced to block. Oh, he has to, yeah. Oh no, he can still take 4 damage, and but yeah, I have 2 factories, so let's see what I do. I can be aggressive, attack with both factories. Okay, I think I'm asking him to like have his play area a bit more clear, right? Because it matters how much mana he has open. All right, so yep, I'm activating both factories. Yep, I'm going in for the kill. So I could potentially win this right now. Or yeah, I think no. Actually, I think not. No matter what, I wasn't gonna win it. But okay, so either way, he's sourcing my Suchi, so I gained 4 life. But whatever, I had a lot of life anyway. So now he's gonna block a factory, both factories. His factory doesn't have summoning signing, so he can tap it. So he takes 2. Okay, ooh, that was really. So he took 2, but then he wiped out my factories and the Suchi. And he still has his Sarah out in play, and he still has 3 factories. And then he drew the Ancestral. Oh, he has a second Sarah. He's attacking with his Sarah. So he's being conservative because he is at 4 life. So I don't blame him. All right, passes my turn. But it's not looking good. He can do so 8 unblockable damage from the Ceros. And he can definitely get more in with the factories as well. He plays a Cedar Brass, but he's most likely not even going to use it once. Oh, lightning bolts my lion, so now he can just attack with impunity right now. Yep, activates all 3 of his factories. 6, 10, 14 damage. Yep, and I gotta take it. So I'm pretty high in life right now, but I'm taking 14 damage. Ooh. So I'm at 17. So he can get another hit like that and drop me to what, 3? All right. Ooh. So I got like 2 turns right now. If he has a direct damage, 1 turn. He draws from his book, end of turn. So I'm just pass. I didn't get anything. Disenchanting my Soul Ring. So look at his player. It's like, and then he just firewalls me. So yeah, he just needed to attack. With the yeah, this is. All right, so that is game 1. I got him pretty low, but that's how the deck works. It is just a beast. of a deck. Going into game 2. So neither one of us mulligan. I am going first. I play a land. I'm not sure which one it is. He plays a tropical island. So it seems like a plains or a savanna for my side. So I play a island and pass. So it's both of us are having slow starts. But oops, man, speaking too soon. Ooh, an ATOG. Interesting. So my turn 3. So it was 2 plains that I had now. 3 mana, a dip. Yep. So that game one was tough. All right, so he casts a time walk, and then that's all he does. Draws the card, gets a factory. I take a damage from my dip. I'm at 19. My opponent's still at 20. I attack for 3. Ooh, energy flux. He disenchants it, end of turn. Especially with an ATOG out, it would be hard to pump it. All right, so he attacks with the factor and the ATOG. I take 3. And then I take 1 more during my upkeep, so now I'm at 15. I attack for 3. He's at 14, so we're pretty close in life, but he's actually hitting me for more. But I can block it now. So I cast an Urnum. Yeah, if he has a scene in a bottle, that would totally wreck me. But let's see if he plays that in the sideboard. So he may have brought in that ATOG from the sideboard. The energy flux from my side, that was definitely from the sideboard. So whenever I play either the deck or just anything that's relies too much on artifacts, that's an auto include. All right, so he passes. I take a damage, but I'm pretty good right now. So I attack with both. Yeah, I gotta be aggressive. I can't let the deck stabilize.
Factory animates itself. Eat it.
Okay. Ooh, so I'm 3 for 1 him. So he activated his factory so that he can sacrifice it to the ATOG, and then he dealt a lightning bolt. So he sacrificed 3 cards to get rid of my Urnum, but then I cast another Urnum anyway. He took 3 damage from the dip. He's at 11 right now. So that was... Ooh, I take a damage. That was a crucial play right there. Ooh, and I had a factory from before. So 9 damage. He's at 2. Yep, I pass. Even if he gets a balance, I have the factory there. Yep. So this is what I need to do. Just extremely aggressive, but it was definitely luck from my side that he had a slow start as well. But that was a pretty quick game 1. Game 2, game 3 now. This one is definitely another epic game, so my opponent goes first. Neither one of us mulliganed. So he went factory. I'm playing plains with a line. Turn 2 for my opponent. Volcanic Island, ATOG, my turn 2. So I have 2 plains now, so I only have white, so that's not good. I attack for... Yeah, so I basically I wanna trade with him. But he just takes the damage instead. Ooh, Javelineer. And I source it anyway. I think we're discussing about life totals. All right, so I'm putting the token on the Javelineer. Okay, I think he just dropped that factory. My turn. Attacking for 3. Swords blocks. Okay, ooh, that was not very productive right there. Maybe I shouldn't have attacked in hindsight, or maybe just with the line, honestly. I think I got greedy there. All right, so my army is gone, and I just got 2 planes, so I'm not looking good right now. So opponent just drops, so it's not choosing to attack. Ooh, but then he followed. So that was a Pixies, which is great against the Factory, but then he follows it up with a Manager, and so he has 2 mana, which is good because it seems like he's mana screwed. 4 book. Oh, so I helped him cast a book. That's a really bad feeling. This is my turn, so I'm debating what to do. So I do have a Savannah from before, but I need 4 mana to start casting Suchis and Dibs, and Saros. I need 5 mana for that. I pass. He plays a second Factory, and then he's not attacking. All right. I pass. He drew end of turn, and then he draws again. Okay, now he's getting aggressive. He played a Land and Mox, gives him the ability to attack with the factories while still having 2 blue open. I'm at 18, so I took 4 right there. All right, I finally have that 4th mana. So hopefully I can cast a big creature or something, because he's gonna kill me in a few turns with the factories. Urnum, swords the Urnum, but at least I gain 4 life. So when he attacks for 4, that's gonna be negated. So at least I'm not going lower. And he cannot attack and draw unless he. Okay, oops. And then he's casting a Sarah, attacks for 2. Okay, it's not looking good. He is tapped out though. So I gotta get lucky right here while he's tapped out. Energy flux. Ooh. All right. That does. All right. So it kills 2 Moxes and his Tome, but I'm still taking 8 damage. I have a white open. So I wonder if I'm going to swords in addition. So I'm taking 8 here. Ooh, I take it. I'm at 12. So I can only take 2 more hits from that, and then I'm dead. He plays a Soul Ring. He's tapped out though. Okay, I'm agonizing here about what to do. I play a land. I have 5 mana open now, so I could do a Sarah. Yep, seems like that's what it is. All right, so I must have several creatures, and I'm thinking about which one's the best one. Because I'm pretty low now. All right, he sacrifices the Soul Ring to the Energy Flux, but he shouldn't just. Maybe he shouldn't have even cast it in that case. I guess he forgot. All right, yeah, he's attacking. So here I'm debating. I can block a factor and kill one, but I take 6. Or I just trade with the Sarah and get rid of it now and just take, because it's hard to block a flyer. So it depends also what I have in hand, right? So I may already have a blocker for the factories. So I take 4. I'm at 8. He only has 1 blue open, so well, 1 volcanic island. So I'm really low. I'm at 8 right now. And currently don't have any blockers for his factors. Let's see what I do. 4 mana. Yep. Ernie. Ooh, nice. So I can block both and not take any damage. Or I can take 2 damage, kill 1, and then have the Javelinier for next turn. What's he doing? He's geysering for 3. All right, so he's still at 19, so. Plus, I cannot really attack him while he's tapped out, because then that will tap me out. And then he can attack me back with his factors, right? So unless I get lucky and I cast a blocker, but even then, yeah, if he kills my blocker and then he attacks unimpeded, that's gonna cost me. So I play a Tropical Island, I believe. All right, so I can hit for 5, but he's still at pretty high life, so he's at 19, so that doesn't do much. Oh, but I'm doing it. All right, let's see. Okay, so it took 5. He's at 14. Ooh, I time walk. He's tapped out. And then check. Yep, I regrowth the time walk. I've never done this before. And then I'm asking, can I cast another time walk again and still get 2 turns? And yeah, they confirmed that yes, they stack up on top of each other. So he's tapped out. I attack for 5. Can't do anything. I drew. I guess I didn't get anything good. If I had drawn a creature, I could have cast it and then attacked next turn. So this is my second one. I got him down at 4 life. Remember, he brain geyser before, so he's okay. So this is now a very controversial play. I balance. So I'm going to wait for my opponent to discard, and then I'm going to pause the video very quickly. All right, so I'm going to pause there. So he kept. So I have only 1 card in hand. So he asked me. So he kept 1, and he discarded. So he discarded a Recall, Atog, Sarah, 2 Moxes, and then something else. So I think he discarded 6 cards. Of course, I'm going to kill my own creatures. And I think I got to destroy a couple of lands. So the reason why I did this, and I definitely was taking a gamble, was that, of course, I knew I had 1 card in hand. And if I balance, he was also going to discard. So I was confident. So since he's at 4 life right now, I was confident that I could draw more threats than he has answers to those threats, and I could kill him. Of course, it's still a gamble, huge gamble. In fact, the players next to us were watching our games, and they thought I had they looked at me like I had I grew an extra head. So we will see if this is fruitful, but this is definitely a crazy play. All right, so let's go back into the video. All right, so sacrifice my own creatures. I gotta kill at least 2 lands, but he dropped down to only 1 card in hand. The deck wins on card advantage. Okay, so ooh, He had, okay, so I'm going to pause here as well. So I'm going to pause now. So he told me what happened here. So the card that he kept was a Black Lotus. He top decked that Fireball. So now with the Black Lotus, he's dealing 7 damage. So that still doesn't kill me. I'm at 1 life. If I hadn't balanced the turn before, he would have still had that that Mox Sapphire, which would have dealt the 8th point of damage to me. So in the end, that balance did save me because now this Fireball is hitting me for 7, but I'm still at 1 life. Yeah, I'm at 1. He's at 4. So that was a crazy top deck from him. All right, so now I'm putting my gamble to the test. So I was gambling that I can get creatures before he can deal with the creatures. I don't think I had a creature as the card that I kept from the balance because I would have casted that turn because I'm pretty sure I still have mana. So I just had a land in hand, I believe. So I drop a land. But yep, so I was right. And I think to the side I have a factory as well, so I'm not sure. Yeah, I think I played a factory before, so that's why I knew I could block his factories. So I just needed to cast creatures. So, all right, so you see we're going 1 for 1. So he's drawing 1, I'm drawing 1. He's drawing 1, I'm drawing 1. He drew, he passed. So now it's my turn. I drew. I'm at 1 life, so any little thing can kill me now. So I cannot make a mistake. If I attack, he can hit me for 2, and then I'm dead. But he's at 4. He has to block or deal with that Urnum, or else he will die himself. So this is down to the wire. Okay, so he's activating 1. And like we're kind of like looking at each other. Okay, anyone doing any tricks, any swords, any pumps, any? And say no pumps, just block. All right, that was pretty intense just for a generic block. All right, so my turn. My opponent goes. He draws. Plays a Mox. Okay, he keeps forgetting that there's a energy flux. So you see, my gamble is paying off. He would have swords that earn him already. So he blocks, and then I have a Sarah. Oh, he top decks, so he just drew and flips it around. So so I was telling him because it could matter. He couldn't use the Mox because the Mox is dead from the energy flux, but he top decked a time twister. So this is nuts. So I have 2 creatures out in play. I didn't get a factor in the corner, but either way, just between the creatures, that's enough. But the main thing is that he's getting all his counter spells and his swords back. And he does have a bit of direct damage. He does have lightning bolts and at least 1 fireball. The only good thing is that he's tapped out. So he hasn't played a land yet. So depending what he gets, he can play a land. Maybe he gets Moxes as well. All right, so what he decided to do is, since this is down to the wire, he's going to reveal the 7 cards that he draws. Because basically that's going to dictate whether he wins or I win. All right. Epic game 3. All right, so yeah, he's just going to reveal the cards as he draws them. Land, swords, land, Sarah, counterspell. He can only play 1 land. He can only swords 1 creature. He cannot swords the other one. So that is game. I don't even need to draw my 7. So wow, that was an epic game 3. So now with this game, this leaves me at 2-1. So the first game of the tournament I lost. The next 2, including this one, I won. So I'm at 2-1. So there's one more round to go. That will be game 4, and then that will dictate my placement in the tournament. So thank you guys for watching this one. There's one more to go after this.